Welcome back, everybody. This is Brother Meat here. Today we're going to continue on our quest to find out everything we can about Mythic Path Spell Book. So we have Demons and Trickery still to cover. We also have Ion and Zada, but again I have to unlock those first to actually do that. It should be easy enough to do that in this upcoming week. So again, I'll unlock them and probably give you videos either by the end of the week or during the weekend. But let's see if we can do Demon and possibly even Trickery all at the same time. Let's find out. So the downside of this one is, again, I can show you the spells that I've picked once I got to level 10, but because these, just like the Trickery spell list, are you limited to the spells that you're picking. You have a list to pick from, which I have written down, but I'm going to want to show it to you organically as we actually level up a character. So going to a level 10 build, which is what we're doing right now, won't do us much good. I show you the spells that I picked. That doesn't mean it's the spells that you should pick or the ones that you're interested in. So again, we will have to level up a character, and I have a way around that problem too. So this character here, for example, if we go to his spell book, again, I rebuild the same character, different type of magus. I decided to go for a kitsune just for funsies. Made him even a demon bloodline character, so Abyssal bloodline, I should say. Mistakenly made him as a dex-based build, and then realized that, of course, the demons get a +6 to their strength by the end of the build for free, which was cool, but also dumb in my part. So again, like you said, you notice that you're not going to get a full spell list on any of these other ones. So Lich and Angel are the only ones that get all the way up to level 9. Supposedly they're even a level 10 spell, but I didn't see either of those. Again, maybe that's something that's unlocked in the game that I just can't unlock cheating the way I'm doing. But these characters are only going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 level spells. I want to say that one of the other ones, the Trickster, might get 6 and 7, but I can't remember off the top of my little pea brain. And so again, something that we'll have to do. And again, since this isn't the inclusive list, I want to actually show you what the list is. So the best way of doing that is if we go to load a game, and I have made a pre-mythic level 3 picks, which means that literally we can pick whichever mythic path we want at this point. It's not going to synergize with our build in any way, shape, or form, because again, it's just a random build that I got to level 20 character and level 3 mythic path. They have the ability to pick, I want to say, all the way up to level 10, so that's what we're basically going to do right now. So 3, 4, 5, and all the way up to level 10 build. So again, just to show you the character, level 20 Magus. Again, this was built to be the Trickster Magus, but doesn't have to be. If you go to the Mythic Path, you see how he has level 1 and 2, and again, still the Lich tag, again, because I spec'd out of the Lich Path. So let's actually level him up, shall we? So again, here's Angel, Demon, Lich, Trickster, and of course Devil, which seems to be busted. Doesn't seem to do anything. Well, less than anything. It does minor things. If I go here, I can show you. Get this thing called Devil's or Hell's Decree, and then you get some spells and spell abilities or whatever. It doesn't seem to be anything of any real value, so I would shy away from it because that doesn't seem to be fleshed out yet. Again, we can do the Demon Path by going here. And again, we still have to pick this stuff. I'm just going to fly through this part because, again, I don't particularly care about this. We want to get to the spells. So notice here's our first chance at picking spells. And again, for whatever reason, they let you look at your spell book, which is kind of nice because it will give you a chance to remind you, hey, you already have these spells. You're not going to add it to this spell book, so it's kind of misleading. Remember, it's going to be a whole new spell book, and it will be spontaneous caster, whether you were a spontaneous caster or not. So if you're a cleric that's going demon, you will get a spontaneous spell book. That's the demon spell book. If you're a fighter that never has spells, you will get a demon spell book if you pick demon as the mythic path. So again, you'll become a spontaneous caster based on that mythic path. Notice, again, it's incomplete. So we have, for example, a spell here that clearly looks like Snowball, and it's got everything to make me believe that it's Snowball, but it doesn't say that it's Snowball. Notice we have other things like Enlarged Person, a variety of spells. We have one that affects nobody. We have one that, doesn't come from any school, none. We have one that comes from transmutation, but only works on a friendly creature, but that's the typical spell. And one that will only work on you. Now, why we have 3, again, I don't know. Probably because there's versions in the game of a non-spell spell-like ability for Enlarged Person. There's probably one that, again, will only affect you. That's probably coming from the Alchemist spell book, for example, because they have spells that are always personal, unless they get infusions. But this would be the one that you would probably pick, and that would make sense. Again, this will probably be cleaned up. Remember, this is early beta. But just to look at the spells, and again, we'll just randomly pick shit to get the next one. But again, for level 1, we're getting 2 spells to pick. We got Burning Hands, Cause Fear, Garbage, Don't Bother. Corrosive Touch, decent. Ear Piercing Scream, decent. Enlarged Person, I can see the value. Rave and Feel It, Rave Sickening, decent choices. Shocking Grasp, and Snowball, the actual Snowball, not this garbage. So again, a decent spell list, and this actually feels like it should go to a Magus. You know, we're getting our touch attacks, whether we're talking Corrosive Touch Attack and Shocking Grasp, or if we're doing an Eldritch Archer build, we got Snowball, Ray of Enfeeblement. And again, I don't believe Ray of Sickening was something that's normally available to an Eldritch Archer, so this should not be a spell that they can shoot through their bow. If I'm mistaken on that, they will be able to. The only way to know that for sure is to go to an Eldritch Archer, level them up, and see what their spell list is. So again, if this shows up in their normal spell list, it is totally a spell that they can shoot through their bow. Pretty damn cool. Again, decent spells, damaging spells. So again, we're seeing a decent smattering of evocation in here, but we got Conjuration besides, a little bit of Necromancy love, got a Transmutation spell or two, and again, we're having some fun here. So let's just pick something. I'm going to go Burning Hands because I'm a demon, and Screaming at People because, you know, I'm also a demon because fuck them. Notice, here's our new spells. Again, level 0, nothing, and 6, 7, 8, 9, you're never going to get anything. So again, it's nice that the devs at least added it to this part here to show you you're not going to progress beyond this point. Notice how I have infinite cantrips, but only my Magus cantrips, and I have my spells up here. Notice how they're buffed here, and these ones are subpars because I have abundant casting, which means I get 4 extra spells a day of each of those level 1, 2, and 3. And if I get improved abundant casting, that will make my 4, 5, and 6 level spells go up by 4, 4, and 4. So I can get a 10, a 10, and a 10 here. And then likewise, you see I have 6 here. That's keying off of the +4 I'm getting already from abundant casting. So normally you would only get 2 uses a day of this. You are, just to backpedal here just a minute. No, actually, I don't think it'll show us that. So let's actually close out there. Notice how you are at level 3 Mythic Path Demon. We are considered a level 6 demon spellcaster. So if I click here, caster level 6. Spell pen 10. There's a reason that that's 4 higher. Again, I have surprise spell penetration and greater spell penetration. Notice my concentration is fucking retardedly high, and again, it's because not only am I a demon Mythic Path, I'm also an which is the Abyssal bloodline for my Magus, but I'm also an arcane bloodline, which gives me a ridiculously high concentration, which means I do not fail concentration checks once I get to level 20, which is again part of the reason for that. But notice that I'm not done yet. Okay, I have tapped out, but we're going to go to party editor, and notice how I see level 20 is my character, and then that's actually mythic, level 3. Just click this until it gets to 10. It'll max out for you. See that? Max, you're done. Close that up. You see how I got the M, and you can keep going. Again, ignore devil, go demon all the way. At level 4, again, I'm not going to care. I'm just going to pick stuff to move on. Same, I don't give a shit. From here, look at this. Again, still level 1 spells, so again, fresh your memory if you want to see. There's nothing wrong with repeating spells. For example, Shocking Grasp is a good spell. Why not get it again? So here we go, the chance to get it again. It's a spell that we would normally channel, same like Corrosive Touch, through our weapon. So there's nothing wrong with wanting to grab it. But since I don't have Corrosive Touch and I have Shocking Grasp, let's diversify. We'll take Corrosive Touch. Notice again, I'm getting 2 spells to pick from. And then again, I can grab Ray of Enfeeblement. Nice spell that even if they make the saving throw, they're still affected in a way that penalizes their strength. Notice I'm getting already level 2 spells. I only get 1. But again, to refresh your memory of what I've already picked, notice I'm getting Acid Arrow, Bear's Endurance, Bull Strength, Cat's Grace, so the 3 physical buff spells. I'm getting Scorching Ray, 2 different versions. That doesn't matter. Just pick the one that makes the most sense. Again, this will be fixed, I'm sure, once we get the release of the game. But again, Acid Arrow, Scorching Ray, again, built for an Eldritch Archer. Frigid Touch, again, 2 versions, get the right one. But again, built for a Magus, for any other kind of Magus, by and large, that can channel through their weapon. So again, a solid Magus build. Mirror Image, even, a solid spell. See Invis, a spell that I don't even think the Magus gets without some effort. So again, getting it for free, pretty fucking cool. You better believe that that'd be one of the spells I'm picking. So yeah, let's pick that. Cool. And notice again, I got 8 and 5, which is actually 4 and 1. Remember, subtract 4 at all times from these first 3. But 4 and 1, that's a big jump already, and that only took me to level 4 Mythic Path, 2 Mythic Heroes, and 2 Demon Paths, right? And again, notice we're getting other spells. Again, more on that when we actually get to the spells at the end, when we look at the book. Well, matter of fact, let's look at that every time. Notice, if I go to Demon, level 1, these are the spells I've picked. Okay, Burning Hands, Corrosive Touch, Ear Piercing Scream, and Raven Enfeeblement, solid choices. But level 2, notice how I get Blood Haze, Consume Fear, Demonic Form, Flames of the Abyss, and See Invis. See Invis was the only one of this list that I picked. So these 4 will always be there for you once you unlock level 2 spells, and you'll see this at level 3, 4, 5, and I think we don't get anything at level 6 if I remember correctly. So, what are these? So again, these are spells that again are specific to the Demon Path. So much like we got for the Angel, much like we got for the Lich, spells that were free, or that were new, excuse me, that they could just get because they had they weren't spontaneous casters. They could just pick and choose as they please. They give them to us as a demon. So this is pretty nice because this gives us a laundry list of spells that we just didn't even see. So let's actually go through them first. Okay, so at level 2, we unlock the ability to use things called Blood Haze. This is a swift action, personal spell. So again, really nice because again, if you get jumped, here we go, instant access to it. What does it do? Make your blood boil, making you faster and more ferocious for 1 round per 2 caster levels. Remember, I'm going to be caster level 20 by the end of this, so that'll be, what was that, 10 rounds? You gain the effect of the haste spell, for you only. Notice this, though. Additionally, every time you reduce a creature below 0 HP, you prolong the effect. If the killed creature had more HD than your caster level, the duration is increased by 3 rounds. Otherwise, it is increased by 1. So if you just become a murder hobo son of a bitch, like a demon should, you're literally going to be buffing that haste for a while. Not enough to make it perma, but enough that when you activate that spell, bam, go to town and start killing the weak fry first. Because again, increase that buff, or the duration, I should say, of that buff as much as possible. You can see the appeal of that spell, and it's a low level spell. Haste, remember, is a level 3 spell, and we may have access to it, we will see, but by and large, I had access to it in my other spellcasting class. So again, potato, up to you if you like that kind of thing. But that's a decent spell. Look at Consume Fear. All creatures in 10-foot bursts, good and bad. Notice how it's got red and blue in here. Centered on a target creature, not you necessarily. Could be, but that'd be probably a bad idea. Medium range. No spell resistance. Again, some other themes that we're going to see here. A necromancy spell, you make the target appear more intimidating, while making it possible to feed on fear. The target gains a bonus on persuasion checks made to intimidate equal to your caster level. That's upwards of a plus goddamn 20. Each round the target is healed for 1 HP for every shaken or frightened enemy in a 30-foot radius. Oh my good lord. Imagine being a Blood Rager that's just regenerating off of a Cornigan Smash, Shattered Defenses, and Dreadful Carnage build. You're just murdering things like super fast with your Blood Haze ability on. You got your Barbarian and your Demonic Rage going, so you're just crushing shit with a massive buff that way. And you have Consume Fear on your character, so you literally are just regenerating, healing, and just intimidating the shit out of guys better than ever before. How freaking cool is that going to be? When the spell is cast, every enemy in 10 feet around the target must make a will saving throw or be frightened for 1d4 rounds. So it's a positive effect for the good guys, a negative effect for the bad guys. I love those spells. So I don't have to think, who's in the range of the spell? Am I going to fuck myself on this one? No. It's pretty nice. And again, the fact that it literally sets them up for Frighten, which again sets up for our Frightened enemy shaken/feared effect that allows us to heal and makes us better and intimidating besides that, so we can keep it going. This is an amazing spell for a Cornigan Smash build. Demonic Form, you're going to see this Demonic Form 1 through 3 or 4, I think, before this build is up. Know that this is going to be a polymorph effect. Notice we can turn into a Babao, a Brimmarok, or a Shearer for 1 minute per caster level. A decent amount of buff. Now again, I don't have the numbers for you on what these are, and these are borked in many cases. The Balor form works, which I think is the level 3 or level 4 version of this. And you look fucking mean, let me just fucking say it. But some of these other ones, you keep repeating the forms. Like you turn in what should be a bird man or bird demon form, and instead you turn into a giant fucking multi-headed Hydra snake form. So again, beta. Stuff will be fixed. I'm not going to show you the forms because again, when it's released officially, I'll go back and show you what has been fixed and give you the correct information. Flames of the Abyss. You conjure abyssal energies to empower your attacks. The next 2 attacks, plus 1 additional attack per 5 caster levels above 7. So 1 at caster level 12, 2 at caster level 17. So 2, 3, 4 attacks total. Deal an additional 1d6 of unholy damage per 2 caster levels. So caster level 20 by the end of my build, so 10d6 of unholy damage for the first 2, 3, 4 attacks. Bam, 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 bam. That's some nice damage. Alternatively, you can use one of the charges to make a ranged touch attack as a standard action, dealing the same amount of damage. So shoot unholy beam of 10d6 damage as a race spell. So nice, 2 different effects here. We can either buff our weapons and just unholy damage the shit out of guys, or shoot a beam, shoot a beam, shoot a beam. And again, the fact that it literally is the next 2 attacks implies either that you're going to, it only works on the next 2 attacks that land, that would be ideal, or the next 2 swings. So again, I don't know which of those it is. If you do know, you've already gotten this spell, for example, feel free to post down below how this actually works. But to me, it makes it sound like the first 2 that land. And that would be ideal, because if that's the case, because this spell doesn't have a duration on it, I would assume that it would be cast the spell and then the next combat round, the spell's over. Because you're going to swing, swing, swing. And if you hit, all those buffs, those charges, if you will, are gone. But if you use it to buff up and then just pew, 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 you got 4 beams maximum here. And so you got 4 rounds of just shooting stuff, shooting stuff, shooting stuff. It doesn't say how far you can shoot, which is kind of a bummer. And hopefully they flesh out this spell a little more. See, Invisibility was the spell that we picked. Now let's level up and see what we got next. Okay, I don't care. Again, we're just going to move along. I don't care. We're going to move along. Notice we're getting 2 level 2 spells, again, just to show you what we had in our Magus spell list. Notice we have the same spells before. Let's grab, we don't normally pick Molten Orb, so I'm going to pass on it now. I will take Bull Strength, because why not be stronger? And remember, you can use that on other teammates as well. So while you're going to have gear that's probably going to buff the whole team with Strength +4 or better, until that time, it is nice to have these spells. I usually poo-poo them in a specific spontaneous caster build, but since this is a different type of spontaneous caster, in that we have 2 different spell books that are going to be reasonably fleshed out, I'll happily take it. For Frigid Touch Attack, notice that again I have this one and this one. Notice how this one says spell-like ability, and this one doesn't. It has an unknown key. That key is probably that it is a spell proper, so I'm going to take that one. Now notice again I'm getting a level 3 spell, 1 pick. Now what is a level 3 spell for us in this list? Clearly what should be a Vampiric Touch, but it doesn't have the right coding for it, so we'll pass on it. I mean, even the description looks like it's exactly what that is. And it says spell-like ability again, so I don't want that one. We have 3 different fireballs, and these, the top one and the bottom one here, I think are the exact same. But I do like this one because it shows the target. Instead of a long-range target, this one actually shows the picture of the target and like how big of a circle you're going to hit, again, roughly. So this is probably just the generic fireball spell. Greater Magic Weapon, 3 different versions of haste. A hold person spell, a lightning bolt spell, rage, which is garbage, stinking cloud, 2 versions of it, and again the Vampiric Touch spell proper. Again, seems to be built around what a Magus would want, right? Vampiric Touch is here, and that's money. That's a spell that I can channel through my weapon. Just because it came from my demonic spell book doesn't mean I can't still cast it through my sword or mace or whatever the fuck I'm using as a Eldritch Scion. So again, this works. I do like the fact that we can have a fireball or a lightning bolt spell. I love a paralysis spell. This is something that Magus don't normally get, especially Eldritch Scion, get for leveling up. They don't get enchantment spells. So getting an enchantment spell is actually pretty powerful. And again, we're getting new spells. We'll go over that here in a second. Level 3 spells. So again, level 2, that was these ones here, and we added to that list. That's fine. Notice we're level 3 now. We're getting Channel Rage, Demonic Form 2. Old Person is the one we picked. Morbid Restoration, Profane Hymn, and Telekinetic Strike. You see we added like 5 more spells just by getting to that level. And again, if you look at the spells a day, this is actually 4, this is actually 3, and this is actually 1. Remember, I have a +4 to each of those because of the feat that I took, which you don't have to take. I recommend you do so, but you don't have to. Channel Rage. So what's this first one? 1 friendly creature within close range. You can only use this spell while in Demonic Rage. Remember, when you Demonic Rage, you can cast spells. It's fucking awesome. And of course, you can rage as a Blood Rager and cast spells too. That's part of their natural thing. But for anyone else, I think if you rage, you're not allowed to cast spells. I think. As a standard action, you grant the target effects of Demonic Rage for 1 round per caster level. So basically, I'm giving my Demonic Rage to someone else, and they have it, now so do I. Again, only 1 round per caster level, but that's pretty cool. And Demonic Rage, for those of you that don't know, not only is it usually a pretty good goddamn buff, and it gets better, I want to say, over time as we level up our demonic path, I should say. It also has the wonderful effect, I believe, of boosting your DC check of your spells. So if you cast this on a caster, and now they're demonic raging, their DC check of their spells might go up. So this could be of value too. looks like the last video just got done. Demonic Form 2, again, nothing more than changing a polymorph spell on you. You can now polymorph into either a Drachni, a Clavicus, or a Nabozu for 1 minute per caster level, and all the buffs and abilities that they have. And they should have the ability to wear gear. I'll be clear on this. So you should be able to turn into those forms in many cases and put on something, like armor, or equip a weapon, things of that nature. But sometimes I think it breaks and it literally strips you of all your gear. Whole person, we picked out ourselves. Morbid Restoration, 1 friendly creature within medium range. Target is healed for 2d8 plus caster level. 2d8 plus caster level. That's got to be +1 per caster level, I'm guessing. Plus an additional 1d8 per hit points for every dead creature in 30-foot radius. So again, assuming that this is 2d8, if that's per caster level, that's retardedly OP. But a really nice heal, and then the more dead things around you, I'm assuming that includes teammates that have died, you have a pretty good heal for yourself or your teammates. And again, something that we don't normally have as a arcane caster type. So a nice heal, even if it is a little morbid. Profane Hymn. Every enemy in 40-foot burst, so teammate-friendly spell. Massive burst, by the way, 40 foot on centered on the caster is huge. Receives a -2 penalty on attacks, damage rolls, caster level checks to overcome spell resistance, so their spell pen is going in reverse. It's like -2 spell pen instead of +2. Concentration checks, so again, hard for them to cast spells. As far as if I smack them around a little bit, their concentration check to keep the spell could fail. And all saving throws. Again, a massive debuff. There is no spell resistance. There is no save. You gotta love a spell like this. And again, it just doesn't say how long. Unless I'm missing it. Caster, standard. Yeah, it doesn't say. So again, an incomplete tooltip. But again, if you hit them with that spell, surely this icon that looks like this will appear up here somewhere on the bad guy. Hover over it. And again, in the combat log, it'll be up here. Hover over it, and it will tell you the duration more likely than not, like how many seconds or minutes or whatever is on it. So at least we can kind of back calculate that shit. Telekinetic Strike. Now this sounds like something that again should be a Magus ability, but again, I'm warning you, is not. You create an invisible force which damages the enemy for 1d6 damage per caster level. No spell resistance, gotta love that. And it's force damage, which you gotta love that. The target then makes a fortitude save after the 1d6 times your caster level. So again, no cap to that. So at 20th level, that's a 20d6 screw you spell. The target then makes a fortitude save. If it is failed, so if they fail the check, the target becomes more prone, and you either push or pull with a combat maneuver using your caster level in place of BAB, so that's your combat maneuver that we're talking about here, and casting stat in place of strength. Well, again, I don't know what your casting stat is. The casting stat usually is, again, intelligence, wisdom, or charisma. Mine for this build should be charisma because I'm an Eldritch Scion. That doesn't mean that that's what they're going to give me. If that's the case, then your casting stat in this realm, if you will, let's say you're a fighter and you get this spell book who has a terrible intelligence, wisdom, and charisma, they may make your casting stat your demon rank. Not the 10, but the half of that. Remember, I'm rank 5, so that could be a +5 here instead of a plus nothing. So that might be what they're doing here. And again, I'd love to see how this works. I'm assuming when you cast a spell, you choose pull or push, so that when it casts, if they fail their check, the appropriate action takes place. And again, kind of cool. It's kind of a get over here spell, or the get the fuck away from me spell. And again, a long range, you got to appreciate a long range attack. Doesn't say anything about it to hit check, so it doesn't look like it's a raise spell, so it should be auto hit. And again, solid damage for a level 3 spell. Holy hell. And that's all that one. Let's go to level 4. More demon. Don't care. Moving on. Don't care. Moving on. Alright, again, another level 2 spell. One more to pick from. I'll take Mirror Image because they wear off quickly. Why not have it in 2 separate spell books? Solid choice. 2 level 3 spells, and again, just to remind you, we already got to level 3. Really good stuff in here, though. I'll take that Vampiric Touch now. And, what do I want? Haste. Great Magic Weapon could be of value. Did I not pick any of the Fireball? I didn't pick any Fireball or Lightning Bolt spells. Brother Mutant, what the actual fuck? Let's take Lightning Bolt, because we're Demon, and Demons love electricity. Sounds good. Now we have 2 level 4 spells to pick from. And again, just to reiterate our level 4 picks, we had Controlled Fireball at least. And we have all these spells in our Magus spell book. So what are we going to pick here that could flesh us out a little bit better? Bestow Curse, Contagion, Control Fireball, Crushing Despair, another enchantment. Very nice enchantment as far as penalizing bad guys and teammates, so be careful with it. Dragon's Breath, amazing spell, love it. Innervation, a spell we don't normally have access to. I have it because I picked it for free as my Arcane Bloodline, but definitely if you didn't have it, you should want that spell. Mass Enlarged Person is garbage. Fear's decent. If you don't have it, you should probably grab it. Shout is good because it's one of those few spells that do not have spell resistance but do damage and have an effect, a stun effect. Stone Skin, if you don't have it, is another amazing spell. Touch of Slime is interesting because we don't have that one normally. Notice this one, while it is a spell resistant spell, that's annoying, especially since it's a disease that you seem to be conjuring. You should think that there's no spell resistance to that. Not the point. Point is, it's a disease spell, and it is a touch attack, melee touch attack at that. Again, Magus normally channel touch attacks through their weapon. This is not one of them because this is not in their normal spell book. Because it's not in their normal spell book, even if it's something that we can get for free like this, or from our free picks like I grabbed Innervation, that's a race spell. Normally don't get race spells like this. Because of that, this is not something an Eldritch Archer can channel through their bow, or their ranged weapon, whatever they pick. Same with Touch of Slime. I cannot channel that through my weapon. I'll cast that spell, I will touch you on the shoulder, and then I'll swing my weapon 3 fucking times, and that's still cool, because it'll still do what I want. Just know that that's not going to be a channeling into my weapon, crit with my weapon, and hit them for critical damage or whatever. That's not going to be a thing here. But it's still an okay spell. Of these on the list, by the way, I do like, and I think Bestow Curse is a touch attack too. Or maybe it's an auto hit. It's a touch range. It doesn't say anything about there to being a hit check. So we'll assume it's not. I don't have Bestow Curse. Let's grab that. I'm a demon after all. Part demon, so why not? And then Crushing Despair, because again, an enchantment that we don't normally have access to, that's money. Now, what free spells did we get at this level? Abyssal Chains, Abyssal Skin, Communal Channel Rage, Demonic Form 3, Teleport, Infectious Rage, and the 2 spells that I picked for free. And again, pretty damn cool, right? Well, let's take a look at that spell book. So what do we get for level 4? We got the Abyssal Chains. This is the one that, if you watch my previous videos, the one that I just finished, you heard the little ping noise not too long. Another one I just uploaded. One of them had a chain spell like this, a necromantic or angelic chain spell that I thought was this one. Abyssal Chains bind your enemies. You pick a target within long range. No spell resistance, which you gotta love. Chain deals bludgeoning damage per caster level to the primary target, and then entangles it for a number of rounds equal to the caster level. After they strike, the chains continue their way to a number of secondary targets equal to your caster level. They have to be within a certain range, I'm assuming, probably like 30 feet. Yeah, right down here. 30 feet, so it will bounce and bounce and bounce and bounce and bounce, and it just continues to chain to multiple bad guys and continue to fuck them over. The secondary chains each strike one target and deal as much damage as the primary one and entangles the target, not paralyzes. So just entangles we're talking here. So it's not going to make them helpless, but it will screw them over heavily. Each target can attempt a reflex saving throw for half damage and to ignore the entangling effect. Secondary targets must be within 30 feet of the primary target, and no target can be struck more than once, so it doesn't bounce and reverberate back into them or anything like that. This has got to be an amazing freaking spell for the reason that you're just chaining a bunch of bludgeoning damage through multiple bad guys. And no spell resistance, you have to love. Abyssal Skin is trippy. The spell effect looks quite cool, I might add. You gain resistance to blows, cuts, stabs, and slashes. The caster gains DR10 / cold iron and good. What does that mean? Well, if the weapon is a cold iron weapon, you still have DR10 because it's not a good cold iron weapon. If it's a good weapon, but it's not cold iron, again, you still have DR10. So it has to be a cold iron and a good weapon combined to penetrate that DR. That's a lot. That's not just the protection wise. I mean, that's a lot of things that they have to get right to hurt you, which is pretty fun, cool. It ignores the first 10 points of damage, which is what DR10 does, each time it takes damage from a weapon. Again, physical damage, bludgeoning, piercing, slashing is what we're talking about here. Once the spell has prevented a total of 10 points of damage per caster level, which it doesn't say there's a cap on, it is discharged. So for level 20, like the best you can be for a demon, will be level 20. That'll be 200 points of incoming damage. So it's like temporary HP of 200. I hate saying it that way because it's not technically true. Because if you dish 50 points of damage to me, 10 is ignored, 40 is going through. If you do that multiple times, you can see I'm going to die way before the spell pops. But this is very similar or akin to the Stone Skin spell. The Stone Skin spell has DR10, an absorption capacity, which I think caps out at 150. And instead of being DR10 / cold iron and good, it's DR10 / adamantine. So it needs to be an adamantine weapon. Now, having said that, if you cast both spells on you, if that works, and it should, and they stack, which it should, those spells mean that you are basically got DR10, period. Now, yes, one will pop before the other. I don't care about that. Why do I say you definitely have DR10? Because there's no way to have a cold iron and adamantine weapon at the same time. It can be a cold iron and good, it can be an adamantine and good, but it can't be a cold iron and an adamantine weapon. And as such, the DR10 will kick in, so it's layers of protection. Remember, it's not 10 plus 10, it's just whichever is the better of the two. So one of these is going to pop, then the other one will still be on you, and hey, that's still cool. So again, I do like the Abyssal skin, and like I said, it does look gross as hell. This Dope Curse, again, I picked that Channel Rage Communal, just like we saw before, but again, giving it to the whole goddamn team. Could be interesting. Crushing Despair, yeah, it's a good spell. Again, it's not new, it's just a spell that I picked. But just to point out that it is a nice cone, and is a nice -2 to attacks, saves, ability checks, skill checks, and weapon damage. A variety of things. And notice how it also dispels Good Hope, because Good Hope basically does the opposite. Decent debuff, and again, not teammate friendly, so be careful. Demonic Form 3, now we're talking. You can turn yourself into a Glabrizu, a Varrock, or a Nalfeshni for 1 minute per caster level, and again, many of those are broken. Infectious Rage. All enemies in a 30-foot burst make a will saving throw. If it fails, they become enraged, getting bonuses as from your demonic rage, but they also attack the nearest target. Duration is 1 round per caster level, but affected enemies can make a saving throw each round to end the effect. I hate spells that are saves every round like this. I also hate spells that it buffs the bad guy, even if they go batshit crazy and start attacking each other, because they just can't rely on that shit. Yeah, they say they attack the nearest, but chances are my team is up and in their shit too. So unless you're starting the fight off with Infectious Rage at a distance and everyone stands the fuck back and let them whittle each other down, maybe, I suppose. Yeah. Teleport, again, pretty interesting spell. Standard action, target within long range now, which is better than Dimension Door, I believe. As a move action, you teleport to any point up to long distance. Now, notice how that is a move action instead of standard action. If that's true, that allows me to teleport from here to here, damn near across the map, and I still have my attack action, which means I can cast another spell or swing my weapon, which is ideal. So again, I like that one because it's not something that most classes have access to. So think about this on a fighter, where the fighter would have no ability to get from point A to point B without just charging or running his happy ass across the battlefield. You give him this spell book, and now he can go boop and just wail on a wizard. You can see the fun you can have here. Alright, with that, let's level up again. Go Demon. Again, I don't care. Sure. Sounds great. Awesome. Those are good, by the way, these ones here. And some of those are incomplete. Notice the ones that don't have tooltips. So there's some good stuff in here, but again, I don't want to go over that right now. Alright. Level 4. We've got one more level 4 spell to pick. Again, like I said, I do like Innervation and Fear. We didn't have Fear on my list over here for the Mega Spell list. I did have Stone Skin, so I don't need that. I don't have Touch of Slime. I do have Innervation. I do have Dragon's Breath. I do have Control Fireball. I don't have Contagion, but I don't want it. So, let's get that Fear. Sure, why not? Notice it says choose spells 1. I think there's a glitch going on here. So again, there's nothing to pick. Just go next. And again, Fear, Abyssal Storm, Demonic Form 4, Devour, blah, blah, blah. So, something glitched on us where we didn't get to even see that these spells were coming our way. So we have Bissell Storm, Demonic Form 4, Devour, Life, Bane, and Telekinetic Burst. So these are the spells that we were given, and nothing was added to this list yet. Abyssal Storm, 40-foot burst, can affect everybody. You create a devastating storm of abyssal energies which deal 1d6 electricity and 1d6 unholy damage per caster level, which again, no cap, so 20 d6 of each of those, to every creature in a 40-foot radius around you. So solo spell, amazing. Demonic Form 4, this is our biggest one. Polymorph into a form of a Baylor, which I said, I'll show it to you, it looks fucking tits. Vivakia, Galu, and Marilith for 1 minute per caster level. Any of those is your oyster, but I want to say 2 or 3 of those are broken in the way that it gives you the multi-hydra form, so it doesn't look right. But the Baylor does look right. Devour, whenever you hit the target with a melee touch attack, it makes a fortitude saving throw. If it is successful, the target suffers 1d6 damage per caster level, so 20d6. If the saving throw fails, the damage is increased to 3d6 damage per caster level. Jesus Christ. If the damage kills the target, you regain 10 hit points per caster level. That's a nice heal ability, man. That's really nice. Not a plus ability like Vampiric Touch Attack, which gives you bonus HP. And again, no spell resistance. You gotta love those. A lot of transmutation spells I'm seeing. Life Bane. One friendly creature within medium range. No spell resistance, because again, it's a buff. Target's main weapon, which I'm assuming you can use this buff on yourself, as a swift action, no less, gets a +5 living Bane weapon for 1 round per level as a swift action. Oof, baby, that's nice. For those of you that don't know, a +5 living Bane weapon. Just give you some frame of reference here. So the weapon's already +5. So +5 to swing, +5 to damage. It's a living Bane weapon, though. What does that mean? If the target is living, which is most targets, it'll get another +2 to that +5. So it'll be +7 to swing, +7 to damage. But it's not done there. Bane weapons always do 2d6 of extra damage, and that damage is unresisted. That's why it's a Bane weapon. So again, you're getting another surge of damage besides on top of that. It's probably like force damage or some shit. But again, pretty fucking cool. So Life Bane is a really mean buff. 1 round per level, that's not OP either. That's actually pretty good. And again, in long range, well, medium range, that means I can buff a teammate that's damn near halfway across the map and go, hey, you need to fucking hit that dude. Buff, swift action. And again, that being a swift action means I can do other shit in my combat round, which is nice. Telekinetic Burst, personal effect. The spell, again, no spell resistance. The spell acts as Telekinetic Strike, but affects all enemies in 30 foot. And again, a nice little tooltip pop up here to let you know what Telekinetic Strike does. I like it when they do this because, again, it reminds you I don't have to flip back and forth. But again, AoE version of this now. You create invisible force, 1d6 damage per caster level, fortitude save, pulls them to you or pushes them away. So again, if you did Telekinetic Strike, this could be a wrangle move. What do I mean? You, as the main tank, let's say fighter, paladin, whatever the fuck class you are, and demon, you run into the thickest shit and you want the bad guys within 30 feet of you to not only take damage, but get over here and keep away from your squishies in the back rank. Get yourself far enough away from the squishies, cast this spell. Everybody that you fucking hit not only takes damage, maybe dies, but if they don't, you could activate the ability that pulls them to you. So everybody just goes whoop right to the center of you, and a nice tight cluster around you. It could be pretty badass. So I thought that was pretty cool. Now I believe that's everything, but let's just go through all the levels just to see what else might unlock. I think we actually get some more level 5 spells. And I don't care. Transmutation, sure, I don't care. Sure. So level 1 spell again. Let's take Snowball because again I like that one for another reason. Again, Conjuration spell, no spell resistance. Even if they make the save, they take damage, and it's a nice rage spell. So it's a very nice spell all in all. Another level 3 spell. I got no problem taking a better version of haste. This one I want. Looks like they're all the same, so I'll just take that one. And then again, it says 2, even though there doesn't seem to be anything. So again, it looks like something's messing up there. But let's keep going just to prove to ourselves. Again, send it someone, sure. I want that, sure. I want that, sure. Alright, here's a level 2 spell pick. Again, I want the Scorching Ray. Sounds good. I want the Fireball. Sounds good. Level 4, I'll take Dragon's Breath. Sounds good. Another 1 spell. So it doesn't look like they fleshed out the level 5 spell book for this, guys, is what I'm seeing here. So the demon spells that we got were pretty goddamn limited. And that's okay. I don't want that shit. False attack, sure. I want that thing, sure. I want that thing, sure. I want, Jesus. The aspects you're going to give me. Okay, another level 4 spell. Let's take that Innervation now. And another 1 spell that we're not seeing. So again, it feels like they're not giving us the other level 5 stuff, which we probably should be getting. So that's basically it, guys, for our demon. I think this is relatively fast. So let's actually do the other version. So we're going to combine this video with the other video. So let's load up to here again, and we're going to do the trickery one. It is a little bit bigger. I want to say it goes up to level 7, but you'll see that here in a sec. Get a sip of coffee while we're doing this. Dun, 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 dun. All right, so trickster, give it to me. And again, we're not going to care about this part. This is really good stuff here, so you really need to pay attention to this when it's your turn. We'll do that in another video. spells. Okay, now, again, back to level 1. Notice we're getting 3 spells to pick from it. Again, we will be a spontaneous caster, I believe, on the Trickster build as well. Notice the list. Looks like a snowball spell, but you can't trust it because the key tip is whatever's messed up. But there's snowball down here, so that's probably the one you want, if that's what you want. Notice we got illusion spells, necromancy, transmutations. We got some conjurations, enchantments. Again, more transmutations, some evocations. Lots of enchantments. Not surprising. You're going to have a big illusion and enchantment vibe to these. And notice there's at least a unique spell in here, something you don't normally see. Wand of Summon Monster 0. And I know it says wand because there is a Wand of Summon Monster 0 in Kingmaker. They just probably cut and pasted it. What does this do? Just like it sounds, it's a summon spell. And it summons an extraplanar murder pony to your side once per day. For only a minute. It takes a full round to cast it, and it really is a summon monster spell. Summon Monster 0 to be precise. It is at least helpful, and it will flank, and it will, low levels anyway, help take a beating for you. So it's something, and it is funny to watch the murder pony get summoned. But again, in this list, the ones that smack of fun to me, Color Spray never gets old. Even if you're fighting high level monsters, 5 or more HD, there's still a chance to stun them. So that's at least value. Doom, Shaking Condition. It's a save or suck spell, but hey, it's not bad. Expeditious Retreat. It's always nice to be able to run faster. Hell, I already got that on my Magus build. So again, there's nothing wrong with grabbing it here and not picking it on your Magus. Because remember, I have limited spell picks. So this is another reason why we're doing this. Because this could be, I don't really need this because I know I'm going to be a trickster before too long. And I'll just suck it up and deal. Because there's no reason to have it twice, per se. Feather Step, though, again, a lot of phase stuff is going to be unlocked, as you can imagine. So things like Feather Step, where you're immune to difficult terrain, spells where you're like using the plants like Vine Trap and such are going to be spells that you'd expect to see. Again, illusions, enchantments, poisons, things of this nature are all Fey related, and as such, you can expect to see that. I will say it's nice to see Grease Spell show up on the list because I didn't pick it, and it is an amazing spell because not only is it a conjuration, I don't care, there's no spell resistance. Well, there's reflex saving throw. There's some fun to be had here, and if you had wings, or your teammates do, you're immune to the effect of this spell. You're flying over it. So again, get your wings out. And Demon's Mythic Path, which we are not, but a Demon Mythic Path has wings. A variety of other things can get wings too. Asymmer spells can provide wings, and again, so it's nice to use that as a nice combo for you and your teammates to set that up when applicable. Hypnotism, okay spell. Again, this is the one that I always confuse, where I want to say this is an illusion spell, but it's always an enchantment. I always get them backwards. But it's a decent spell. Again, we don't normally get enchantments as a Magus, so again, decent choice. Notice I even have Color Spray for free because I went Fade Bloodline. I rebuilt the character, and Color Spray was one of those free spells that I got. So again, made sense. I could get it again. There's no need to. Reduce Person, on the other hand, is nice, and again, I grabbed it already, so again, there's no need to grab it again, but it is a good spell. Shocking Grasp is worth getting again, and the reason for that is it'll give me the full 5d6 of damage. It doesn't matter which spellbook I cast it from, and again, as a Magus, I can shove that through my weapon, because it's the typical Magus Shocking Grasp spell. Even if it's coming from a different spellbook, that still works. Last spell, again, you may say Sleep, but again, by this point, Sleep is garbage, so it sucks that they even offer this to you. I don't mind the Summon Monster 0 or the Vanish. They're not great. I do like Snowball, though, and Snowball is a solid spell. I've grabbed it already. I'll grab it again. Okay, moving on. Notice again I have 2 spells today, not 6. Remember, I have that +4/+4/+4 ability. Okay. So I need to go here, and again, get me all the way to 10, baby. Close, going, again, Trickster, do that thing. I don't care, do that thing. I don't care, do that thing. Oh, jeez Louise. Reuse magic device. This is a nice one. You have learned a way to use items so delicately that the use is completely unnoticed. Wands you use no longer lose charges for use, and you can equip any magical item possible regardless of requirements. So if it says only a monk can wear it, or you have to be lawful good, fuck that. Trickster. You gotta love Trickster, man. Trickster's OP as fuck. We have level 1 spells again. 1 pick. Doesn't matter. I'm just gonna pick the pet. Sure. Did we get level 2? Yeah, we had 2 level 2 spells. Now what level 2 spells opened up? Notice our list. Blur, Cat's Grace, Chameleon Stride, Eagle's Splendor, Fine Traps, Hideous Laughter, Mirror Image, Invisibility. On that list, notice the thumbs down. That's because we got Invisibility for free on the other. I don't think we're going to get it for free. So ignore that, I would say, but we'll test that theory. I won't pick it. We'll see if it just shows up. I don't think it does, though. So if you want Invisibility, grab it. But again, it's a holdover from my Magus my Eldritch Scion spell picks where it's saying, "Oh, you're going to get it for free. Just wait. Don't pick it." Yeah, bullshit lie. But again, Mirror Image is a solid pick. Notice Hideous Laughter's in here, an enchantment again that we don't normally have access to. Fuck yeah, we should totally take that. Blur is still a staple, still a solid spell. Cat's Grace 2, Eagle Splendor. This is one we don't ever get as a Magus because again, you get Bull Strength, Cat's Grace, and Bear's Endurance. You could pick, but you probably shouldn't. Same with Eagle's Splendor, Owl's Wisdom, and the other one that I can't remember off the top of my brain. Fox's Cunning or some shit like that. But that's the 3 mental stats. And again, Magi, for whatever reason, they do not get the 3 mental buff spells. They've decided, I guess, that it's too OP to make a fighter/wizard or fighter/sorcerer hybrid like the Magi are, and turn it into a buff fest where you can just get like all the intelligence and all the wisdom and all the charisma and all the strength and con, etc. and so forth. So if you wanted to, you could have some fun here. What I would probably do is get that Find Trap spell, a nice divination spell that would make you feel, even if you aren't, like a thief, like a rogue, like someone who's like looking for traps on purpose. And just to give some frame of reference for what that spell does, bonus to you, only you, 1 minute per level. So again, it'll be 20 by the end of the build. Not affected by spell resistance, no problem there. And it gives you a bonus, an insight bonus, no less, to your perception check for detecting everything. I honestly think so. It says it works on traps. I think it works on everything. So your perception checks get a buff equal to half your caster level. So maximum of plus 10, and that's still a thing while the spell's in effect. That's a big plus 10 to your perception, man. That's a very, very nice perception check. And again, we have, as a trickster, the way to make our perceptions even better. Notice we got some other free spells, just like we saw with our Demon Path. So let's do that. Notice level 1, nothing that wasn't spells that we picked, so nothing unique. I mean, that's unique, but again, other than that, I mean, nothing that we got for free. Level 2, on the other hand, we got Bear's Grace, Fish Missile, and Summon Small Beer Elemental. I mean, plus our 2 spells that we picked. So Bear's Grace, not Bear's Strength or Cat's Grace or anything like that. It's Bear's Grace. Is a attack spell, medium range, so you don't have to even do a touch attack. No spell resistance, which is awesome, and it doesn't appear to have well, there's a saving throw, a will saving throw, but that's cool because again, it's going to lower their dexterity by 8 if they fail that. So throw that on a ninja bastard that's pissing you off, -8 to his dex. Doesn't say that it won't take him down to 0 either, so it's entirely possible you could kill them with that spell if their dex is already low. So that's some fun that you can have. Fish Missile is one of my favorites. Quite frankly, Fish Missile, you launch a smelly, slimy, putrid fish at your enemy as a ranged touch attack. And again, if you can do sneak attack, which the Trickster Mythic Path gets free sneak attack, by the way, so you will get sneak attack on that, if applicable. It does bludgeoning damage, 1d6 points of bludgeoning damage, plus an additional 1d6 per 2 caster levels you have above the first, which I think they mean above this. So at level 20, I have 10 more, so I should do 11d6 of damage by the end of the build with a smelly fish that I launched to their face, which is funny as hell. On a successful hit, the target must make a Fortitude save or be sickened for 1d4 plus 1 round. So they still take the full damage. The Fortitude save is are they're sickened. And remember, the sickened condition, man does really pay attention to this. This would be where a good pop-up would be. It shows you what the sickened condition does. Sickened is the -2 to attacks, -2 to damage, I think, -2 to saves and skill checks, I believe. Might even be armor, but I can't remember that off the top of my head. Man, would it be nice to have a pop-up that show you that. But that's a nice, free, weird spell, if that. Summon Beer Elemental is the other one. And again, summons are another list of spells that, again, Magi don't normally get for free. And while, yes, every Mythic Path gets free summons, these are different free summons in that they come in your spell book. Summon Small Beer Elemental, literally like it sounds, I want to say it's just like a reskin of a Water Elemental. But again, it's probably got like a cool like design look to it where it looks like foamy beer attacking you. So there's the small, medium, large, and greater, and you'll see that we get a variety of them as we level up. But that's kind of cool. And again, it's still considered a Conjuration spell, as per usual. Trickster. Archmage Armor, sure. Let's get that perception up so I can show you what the level 2 version is. Notice level 1. You see more than other people, you're under a constant effect of see invisibility, nice, and can now find hidden items in unexpected places, which is indicative, illustrative to me that in the game there's hidden shit that no one will see unless you have this. And that's fucking cool. Again, another level 1 spell. Let's grab let's get another color spray, sure. Level 2 spell, let's grab another mirror image, sure. Level 3 now. What we got for level 3, baby? Alright, so this is the ones I picked from my mega spell list. Notice I have Blink again, Deep Slumber. If you're going to grab any sleep spell, this would be the one that I'd probably want. The downside of this one is again, it also, like sleep, has an HD cap. So by this point, you probably are fighting monsters that are not lower than level 10. And as such, this would be useless on them then. So I would pass on that. It's a damn shame. Displacement is amazing. And again, a spell that we have. So there's nothing wrong with having another. Dominating Animal, a spell that we don't normally get because it's an enchantment. Same with Hold Person. So these two are my 1-2 punch. Slow and Stinking Cloud. I have Stinking Cloud, and I should have grabbed Slow, but I didn't. So we'll get Slow for sure. But let's grab those two enchantments that we know we wanted. And notice we got even more spells for free. What were those ones? Dominating Animal, Harry had talked about that, and again, it's just like it sounds. You control an animal, you basically turn them to your side, and then they fight with you. So, but it only works on animals. So again, it has to be a creature type animal. It even says it in the tooltip, so it's nice that they actually added that part. But by and large, it is you're on my side. So if Doggo tries to attack you, fuck you, you're on my side, buddy. And then when the spell wears off, or he makes this check eventually, because it will happen, he'll turn on you again, and then the spell's off. Glorious Beard, though, love this. This was actually a spell, I don't know if it was called Glorious Beard, but there's one in D&D that's like this. I want to say it's a Paladin spell, and it's a Silver Beard, I want to say is what it was called. And it literally, like it sounds, would give you whether you're male or female, would give you a Glorious Silver Beard, would give you an armor class bonus because of the fact it was made of silver. And because it was made of silver, it protected you from lycanthropy, or you could hurt lycanthropes with it, or something weird like that. But I thought it was funny, and it's nice that they added something similar to this game. Spell causes a Glorious Beard to erupt from your face, or whoever you cast it on. It's a one-friendly creature. Of a willing target, the beard grants +2 natural armor bonus to armor class DR5 slashing, which means it protects you from bludgeoning and piercing attacks. Additionally, makes you look so glorious, which of course it does. It's a glorious beard. I love the hallucinogenic cloud, an illusion spell, no less. Again, no spell resistance. You gotta love that. Mind affecting, sight affecting spell. A hallucinating cloud creates a bank of fog like that created by a fog cloud, which doesn't exist in this game, at least that I've seen. Except that the vapors are hallucinogenic. Creatures in the cloud become confused. I hate these types of spells. This condition lasts as long as the creature is in the cloud, and from 1 to 4 + 1 rounds after it leaves. Roll separately for each confused character. Any creature that succeeds on its save but remains in the cloud must continue to save each round. This is a mind affecting effect. So this would be useful if you or your team or your pets were immune to mind effects. So you could literally cast this on them. It sits stationary while they're in the cloud. Bad guys are clumping up on them, and they're getting confused. Remember, confusion has a variety of effects that's rolled randomly on a table. Again, the downside is they don't tell you what that means. Again, devs, this would be a nice place to put confused as a pop-up to show you what that means. I want to say on a 1d100 die roll, which again is in the game, that behind the scenes they'll roll on that once they are confused every round. Every round they will decide what level of confused they are. So some of the choices are, not choice, one of the penalties I should say are nothing happens, or they attack the nearest opponent, which could be them, their friends, or you, or your team. They will stand there and do nothing. They will hurt themselves, literally do like minor damage to themselves, which is funny as fuck. But again, it's random every round, so you can't rely on it. Is the reason I hate these types of spells. But I can see it being fun to be played up for humor. Hold Person, that's the one I picked. I did right? Yeah, Hold Person. Almost greater invisibility. Nice. One friendly creature with touch range, and it lasts weirdly. Instead of not ending after an offensive action like invisibility does, it ends with a chance equal to 5% plus 5% per attack you made during the invisibility. So this is not invisibility or vanish for that matter, which is a weaker version of invisibility. Grants you a 20 bonus to your stealth check. This would presumably too. Now, having said that, every time you attack, invisibility and vanish would immediately wear off. This one may not. It depends on how many times you attack and if you roll poorly. So you can not rely on it, but it's funny. And again, as a trickster build, it makes kind of sense that you have invisibility, but not quite. And that's kind of cool. It doesn't have a duration, though, which kind of worries me, because I'm assuming it behaves like invisibility, which is 1 minute per caster level. Greater invisibility, the good one, not the almost greater invisibility, but greater invisibility is 1 round per caster level. So that one's better, and that one doesn't wear off when you attack. So you still stay invisible. But this one doesn't have as good a track record, I guess. And now we have, of course, the Summon Medium Beer Elemental as an obvious upgrade. Keep going, Trickster. Next. Let's grab that one that I do care about. 2 weapon fighting. Sure. Stealth is actually another good one. All of these are good. I should take some time to actually go through these. But there's levels 1, 2, and 3. And you can only get a couple level 3s in here. Because those are the greater mythics. And greater, I mean, are freaking OP as shit. Notice here I have Athletics 2. You can already break free from continuous conditions, but if you are strong enough, there is little difference between continuous and instantaneous. Every time you fail a saving throw, you can make an athletics check against DC equal to the original save DC plus 20. If you succeed, you automatically pass the saving throw. So let's say any saving throw. Again, it doesn't sound like it's a saving throw to be paralyzed or held or anything like that. Let's say it's a fireball coming my way. The DC check, let's say, was a 20. Add another 22. That's a 40. But how good is your athletics check? Are you extremely strong? Do you have an athletics skill of 20? Have you put points in it to get it to 20? And then, of course, have class skill in it and have strength besides supplementing it so that instead of a 20, you have like a 30 or a 40? See how this could be useful. So suddenly every saving throw that you fail, you get to re-roll, is basically what it's telling you. And if your athletics is good enough, it didn't hit you. Or the saving throw passed. That's pretty cool. Perception, this is the one that I love. Nothing can escape your notice. You automatically detect creatures who attempt to use stealth. Fuck you, invisible bastard. You also notice more about yourself and your companions, allowing both them and you from now on to take feats from a special trickster list, which I have yet to see. And here's why. Dumbass that I am, I made a level 20 character. I've already got all my feats picked. This does not count as the mythic feats aren't what we're talking about here. This is literally an actual feat list. So a normal feat progression when you get them at levels 1, 3, 5, blah, blah, blah. So this would be an amazing one to unlock. Because I gotta believe that special trickster list would be fucking tits. Stealth, notice this one though. Level 2 stealth rank. You exceeded stealth, fading from sight with your every move. Your stealth in combat, which is a thing you got at level 1 stealth rank. In combat now works more akin to greater invisibility spell effect, which means that literally I have greater invisibility on tap. Just from having this, which is fucking awesome. But I'm going to go for perception too, because why not? Level 1 spell, let's grab Vanish. Sure. Level 2 spell, let's get me some of that Eagle Splendor, because I need some high. I should point out Chameleon Stride, just to show you how it works. It's a lot like Blur, but worse and better at the same time. It gives you the 20% concealment miss chance that Blur does, but only against ranged attacks, anything that's 5 feet away or farther. So melee attackers, more than likely than not, will not have that penalty. But it does give you a bonus to stealth. Not an amazing one, but a better than normal one. So again, this is not as good as Vanish, not as good as Invisibility, not as good as Blur, but a little bit of all. Right? And again, it does have a decent duration, so this isn't a useful spell. That will take that. Level 3 spell. Again, just remind me of our list. Oh, let's get some of that blink up in here. That's a nice spell. Level 4 spells now. We're getting good stuff now. What we got? Fantastic. Also, Greater Chameleon Stride. Well, we just grab the greater version. Greater Invis. Phantasmal Killer. Rainbow Pattern. Shadow Conjuration. Now we're fucking talking. And again, reduced mass reduced person, which is garbage. Better Grizzly, I'm grabbing Shadow Conjuration and getting some of that Rainbow Pattern up here. 2 illusion spells. Mages don't normally have access to it. This one isn't even on the wizard spell list for whatever reason. I can't get that for free. So that's a nice one for us to have, because that's pretty baller. And again, unique spells, we'll talk about those right now. So what do we get for Trickster? We got Rainbow Pattern, Shadow Conjuration, just to show it to you, because again, it was relatively unique. It wasn't in Kingmaker for that reason. That's why I don't want to show this. But they do this one correct, just like the modder did this one for Kingmaker. They did it generally the same way. Again, there's a chance things work, chance that they fail. It's half strength, 20% strength, shit of that nature. But it's an illusion spell. But it allows you to do any of the conjuration spells from level let's see, this is level 4, so it should be level 3 down. So 1, 2, and 3. Hell, even cantrips. If it's a Conjuration spell, you can make an illusionary version of it, which means summoning spells or creation spells. Summoning spells, for those of you that don't know, are things like our summon monster 1, 2, and 3. So again, I'll have access to summons now, level 1, 2, or 3, from just having this spell slotted, or in this case, not slotted, as part of my spells per day, my spontaneous casting. But the free spells we got, summon Grizzly Bear, not Grizzly, Grizzly Bear. So I'm assuming that it's like made of grease. This should be funny as fuck. Summon creature appears, and I've yet to check this out, so this should be something we should actually try to do. Summon large, be real elemental, obvious. And again, funny. Keep going, trickster. Let's actually grab something that would bolster our shadow spells. Powerful shadows. Makes our shadow spells 20% more real. So if it's 20%, it's now 40. If it's 40, it's now 60. You get the idea. And that has to do mostly with the type of damage that they do. In here, what do we want? Finding stuff. Lore Nature is actually a really good one. Lore World, or Knowledge World, Knowledge Arcana. All these are really good, guys. It sucks to have to pick and choose, because they really are. Notice, for example, what Knowledge World 3 could have gotten you. Notice we don't have Knowledge World 2 or Lore Nature 2, which is why we can't pick either of these. But these were some greater mythic tricks that we could have picked up. And these guys are mean. Watch this. You know how the whole world is just a game, but that is ultimately in your favor because you are good at games and at changing rules in your favor. You and members of your party can now ignore requirements of feats while leveling up. So, if you want a 2-weapon fighting, but you're a strength-based build, Knowledge World rank 3, baby. We can start picking that shit now. Well, again, I power level my character to 20 like a dumbass, so I fucked it up. But this would be, again, reasons to go Knowledge World rank 1, rank 2, and now rank 3 by level 7 mythic rank. Lore Nature 3, again, something that I could have picked. The Lore Nature 1, which I did, but I didn't pick level 2 yet. This one here I could have picked. At level 3, you know that it's perfectly natural to find powerful magical artifacts lying around the locations everywhere you go, as well as other rare and exotic items. Every time you rest, you now find a random powerful magic item, and you can now find ingredients for an exquisite meal. The level 2 version is obviously the lesser version. You find like potions and wands and shit like that. So again, the more you nap, the more you get shit, which again is pretty fucking cool. Let's take, I'll take, no, I wanted that Eagle Splendor last time, we'll do it now. I'll take, slow, it's good, fuck you spell. I'll take, let's get some greater viz. I love having more greater viz, especially for a sneak attack build. Now we're at level 5, baby. What you got for 5? We got Dominate Person, Feeble Mind, Mind Fog, Phantasmal Weapon, Shadow Evocation. You better leave them getting those last 2. All these are good, but these last 3, honestly, are the best, in my opinion. Mind Fog is a massive debuff. Phantasmal Web is an amazing spell. It's 2 spells in 1, technically. It's a web spell and a, storm outside bad. Web spell and a Stinking Cloud spell all in 1, technically. And Shadow Evocation, they finally did it right. It is now a spell that, again, instead of being limited to Fireball, Lightning Bolt, Shout, Volcanic Storm, and Ice Storm, that was the original Pathfinder spell. A modder came along and said, no, that's not Shadow Evocation. Shadow Evocation is like Shadow Conjuration. It should be able to cast every evocation spell you have that's the level lower than this spell. So level 5 means I can cast evocation spells that are level 0 through 4. And not just wizard spells, by the way. This can be evocation spells that are clerical or druidic. So again, same with Conjuration. You'll see a longer list of fucking spells that show up from this. So again, it's really fucking cool to have these. And on a spontaneous build, I stressed this back in Neverwinter Nights 2, and I'm stressing it again here now. On a spontaneous caster build, like an Eldritch Scion, a Sorcerer, Inquisitor, anytime you have a spell that can be multiple spells just depending on how you choose it, you should take it. Because you have limited spell picks. This can be Fireball. This can be Lightning Bolt. This can be Scorching Ray. There's a fucking laundry list of shit that this could be. And all I have to do is slot it. Well, again, I'm a spontaneous caster, so it's always slotted. Less useful for a wizard, still useful, but less useful for a prepared caster, like a wizard, a cleric, a druid. But for like an oracle, an inquisitor, a sorcerer, or an Eldritch Scion, these are money. So you gotta love spells that give you multiple uses, just depending on how you pick them. And again, more new stuff. Let's take a look at that more new stuff. Trickster, we got Microscopic Proportions, Phantasmal Healer, Phantasmal Web we picked, Reign of Halberds, Shadow Evocation we picked, and Summon Greater Beer Elemental. So, new spells. Microscopic Proportions. You call upon the primordial power of ancient microfauna to shrink the size of your target, obviously a friendly creature, decreasing them by 2 size categories and giving them a +6 size bonus to Dex. So now imagine this Trickster build on a obvious Dex-based build. Now, it doesn't have to be a Magus. It could be a Ranger. It could be a Fighter if you really want to go Dex-based, like Rapier, bow and arrow kind of shit. Dex-based is a lot of things. It could be Weapon Finesse. It could be 2-weapon wielding. It could be ranged attacks. It could be a Ray Spellcaster, Eldritch Archer. There's Divine Hunters, which are paladins that specialize in using bow and arrows or similar ranged weapons. You can see a +6 size bonus to dexterity being huge for those bastards. So this is a really nice spell. I like that one. Phantasm, and again, it's a size bonus, which stacks with enhancement bonuses and alchemical bonuses. If you try to pass this on to, say, like an alchemist, for example, this is an amazing upgrade for them because, again, the alchemical buff from their mutagen could get all the way up to a +8. And then they have a +8 dexterity belt. And then they have a +6 from this. That's, what is it, 8 and 6 turn into 22. That's a huge amount of dexterity we just added to a character with 2 spells and 1 mutagen. Just saying. Phantasmal Healer. I love the fact that just reused the picture and made it yellow instead of purple. But again, a healing conjuration spell. You summon a Phantasmal Healer who stays in place for a number of rounds equal to 1 per every 4 caster levels. We're going to be caster level 20, so that's 5 rounds we got. Each round it heals every living creature in 30-foot radius for 1d6 per 4 caster levels. So assuming this heals and damages undead at the same time. So the creatures will make a will saving throw to have the damage, assuming they're undead that's being healed. So this would be bad for living targets that are still out. But after a fight's over, healing everybody, hell yeah. Fucking cast this Phantasmal Healer and then we'll just cluster around the Phantasmal Healer and let him heal us up. Phantasmal Web we picked, and again, amazing spell. Same with Shadow Evocation, again, amazing spell. And it still has the original tooltip, so hopefully they change this to be more like the Shadow Conjuration, where it says any Conjuration spell level 0 through 4, 3, or whatever the fuck it is. Same with Evocation, because right now it's using the same old tooltip from Kingmaker. Reign of Halberds, AoE attack. Create a Reign of Halberds making an attack roll against every creature. Remember, you have sneak attack as a trickster. Whether you had it before or not, you got it now. So now, melee attack or ranged attack rolls, whether it's ray spells or, literally you a bow and arrow guy, those are attacks and they hit. If sneak attack is applicable, you get a sneak attack on this shit. So this is an AoE sneak attack move for you, potentially. 10-foot radius for every creature, teammate, unfriendly, be careful. A successful attack is 1d10 points of slashing and piercing damage per caster level, and can critically strike, because again, it's a hit check. So of course it can. So amazing amount of damage that you're going to unleash on these fuckers, and again, hopefully you'll hit more than one guy with that shit. And the tooltip is, by the way, misleading, because it says within a 20-foot burst, and then it says 10-foot radius. So unless the 20-foot burst is referring to the diameter, maybe that's what's going on there. And again, of course, our Summon Greater Beer Elemental, gotta love them. I bet you they taste amazing. Trickster. Let's grab how about we get some Spell Pen. Sure. Mythic Sneak Attack. 1d6 of sneak attack damage. Fuck you, game. That's lame stuff. Let's grab that Knowledge World. Sure. And now notice here's the rank 2. We're going to talk about the athletics one. Here's Knowledge World rank 2. You now know so much about the world that you understand that everything in the world is divided by dice. And you are good at dice. You have some very special dice that you will use from now on. Every time a member of your party would roll a 1 on a d20 roll, the result of the roll instead becomes a 20. Fucking yeah. I don't know if that's automatic or if it's like a 1 use a day kind of thing or what, but that's money. Rank 2 Lord Nature, on the other hand, not only can you find potions or scrolls, but magic items as well. The quality of food you find is also improved substantially. You now find ingredients for an uncommon meal, and will find one random magical item every time you rest. I'm going to grab rank 2 on that. Let's grab some Blur. Get some Stinky Cloud. Let's get some Phantasmal Killer. Let's get Mind Fog. Aha! Level 6. Now we're getting in there. Level 6 spells. We have Mass Cat's Grace, garbage. Mass Eagle Splendor, garbage. Phantasmal Putrefaction, and Umbral Strike. Grab those. And those we got the Charm Whatever, Recreational Pit, Summon Elder, Beer Elemental, and the Summon Perpetually Annoyed Wizard will be also on our list. Boom. Boom. Show me that shit, Trickster man. Charm whatever. Just like it sounds, as a charm any monster. You can make any creature fight on your side as if it were your ally. Of course, it will try to oppose this with will saves, but again, no spell resistance, which you gotta love. And again, medium range, nice spell. Very useful enchantment. We got Mass Eagle Splendor. I don't know why. Did I pick that? Nope, I didn't pick that. That would be stupid of me. I must have picked it. Well, I must have slipped and grabbed something else by mistake. Phantasm Putrefaction, on the other hand, is amazing. Illusion spell, teammate friendly. This one really screws over the bad guys because they literally will sleep. It is a sleep spell that's not a sleep spell. For those of you that don't understand what that means, the spell in the description tells you how that works. The way that works is they are basically under the effect of a sleep by fainting. They pass the fuck out if they fail their check on the second round because their guts literally look like they're pouring onto the fucking ground in a putrefied liquid mass at their feet. And because they believe the illusion, assuming they fail their check, they freak the fuck out. As such, the way they handle that is they just don't process it and go, oh, and faint. That is the equivalent of a sleep spell. But it's not sleep because some monsters and elves, for example, are immune to the sleep effect. Not this one. So this is a good way to fuck those dudes over. And beyond that, it does other stuff besides like wisdom damage, which of course we love, because that makes them more susceptible to our mental spells. You know, our enchantments, our illusions, mostly, not all. Recreational Pit, this one's funny. Instead of your pit spells where, you know, people are dying and falling and hurting themselves, this pit is literally a pit where people get bonuses and rest and fucking chill. So again, kind of trippy, very weird. Every time a creature is in the pit, it's healed for 3d6 as an extra mental entities heal their wounds and make a massage. Nice. There's a trampoline at the bottom of the pit, so when you fall in the pit, you don't hurt yourself. It's just fucking funny. Honestly, it's a cool spell. Summon Elder, be your elemental, which I assume is even bigger. Summon Perpetually Annoyed Wizard. Now, this one fucking cracks me up. So basically, you summon a wizard, presumably they have their own casting abilities, and they just behave like an autopilot wizard. So you don't get to control them, they just do their thing. He attacks opponents with the best visibility, which means he's probably slinging out spells. And it'll be something to test to find out what he can actually sling the fuck out, which is pretty fucking funny. Okay. Let's do that trickster thing. Alright, let's grab, is there anything else I didn't give a shit about? Improved abundant casting, sure. Let's do that thing. Alright, let's grab some lore religion, sure. Yeah. Notice the athletics, rank 2. Lore nature, rank 2. Stealth, rank 2. Let's grab that lore nature. Deep slumber, displacement. Let's grab displacement. Chameleon Strider, Ogre's Person. Grab that greater Chameleon Stride. Again, it's a AoE version of the same one. But you have to stay close to you for it to work. So it's centered on you, but it stays on you. It's like a AoE that's mobile. There we go. Dominate Person, Feeble Mind. No wrong answer. I'll take Dominate Person. You notice we're getting damn near just like every spell. So notice we get Umbral Strike here. And again, for level 6, for my Magus, there's usually a spell that I try to grab if I can fit it in for a deck space build, which a Trickster build probably should be. Nice Ray spell, matching with something like Hellfire Ray. Also, I get Disintegrate, which I didn't grab. So there's a lot of spells that could have been good Ray spells. This is another good one. Notice for level 7, this one actually does get all the way to level 7. That's as high as it goes, though, so far anyway. And notice we're getting even cooler shit. Insanity, Mass Invisibility, Greater Shadow Conjuration, fuck yes. Or if Chaos, I don't care. Then Ray of Halberds, yes, Ray of Halberds. Summon Hog of Desolation, and Trick Fate, which is OP as fuck. Let's grab that Greater Shadow Conjuration and Mass Invis, sure. Why not? So let me see that spell list. What do you got there at level 7, Sunshine? 2 spells a day. Ray of Halberds. You blast your enemies with a stream of halberds. You fire 1 halberd per 2 caster levels. Each halberd requires a ranged attack to hit. And deals 1d10 plus charisma modifier and damage. That's funny as shit. And I wonder why this one's charisma. I mean, I'm a charisma-based caster, so this works perfectly for me. But it's kind of weird that charisma is your go-to stat on here. But I guess for humor's sake. Each halberd, though, again, ranged attack to hit, which again, sneak attack is applicable. Crits are applicable. 1d10 plus charisma modifier and damage, and 1 halberd per 2 caster levels. I'm going to be level 20. That'll be 10 halberds. So imagine a 10 Ray spell attack going out to 1 target. array, array, array. Do that 10 fucking times, and the chances you're going to hit them is pretty good. And again, it is considered a ranged attack. It doesn't say ranged touch attack. So maybe it's just like shooting a bow and arrow, so armor could be applicable, but so what? Still funny. And I'd get into that. It would be a funny spell to fucking use. Greater Shadow Conjuration, just like Shadow Conjuration, but better. 60% stronger, and again, we already have that buff that making it technically 80. But it's just like any Shadow Conjuration spell in that it's the greater version, which means it's level 6 spells on down from any sorcerer or wizard conjuration spell list. So summoning and creations, and that's again a laundry list of shit. So a really good spell. Summon Hog of Desolation, you literally summon a hog, but you gotta see that shit. The spell summons cute little piglets for 1 round per caster level. The summon creature appears where you designate and acts according to its initiative. It attacks the opponent with the best ability. I wonder what that's going to fucking look like. And Trick Fate. Now watch this, little bastard. When the Fate gives your friends a challenge, you respond with a special die. So this is a 1 friendly creature within touch range, no spell resistance, for 3 rounds. The target, which could be you probably, the target ally always rolls 20 on all d20s for 3 rounds. All roll 20s. So now imagine that. That's hit checks. That's if you had. What if you found a weapon that did a d20 damage? Oh, Jesus Christ. Always roll a 20? Fuck yeah. For saving throws, you roll a 20. Because that's a d20 roll. For spell pen, to overcome spell resistance, you roll a d20. So there's a lot of shit that's a d20 roll in this game. Imagine that for 3 rounds guaranteed for your buddy or you. Yeah, you'd love that spell. Let's keep going. Just see if there's anything else that shows up at the end. I don't think so. Again, I'd probably go Piranha Strike, probably, because it'll give us more damage. Instead of a +2, it's +3 now. So at a -4 is what I'm at the end of this build. Now I'm at a -4 + 12, 8 turns into a -4 + 12. I do more damage with my attacks. Flawless Attacks is a better one too, again for missing less. I also like Piranha Strike or Power Attack, depending on which way you make it. I also like Weapon Finesse. It's not ideal because, again, with an agile weapon, it does the same thing. Or 2 feats that mimic this as well. Slashing Grace or Fencing Grace. It's the same exact effect. Weapon Focus, on the other hand, for daggers, because I'm a dagger wielder, if I have Weapon Focus, instead of it being a +1, it's a +2 to this one. If I have Greater Weapon Focus, it's also a +2. So I got a +2, +4 if I had both of those, which I don't think I do. So I would probably, like I said, take Flawless Attack. Sure, no trickery. Alright, Lower Nature World, or Nature, what we got there? Random magic item, or now ignore requirements for feats when leveling up. That would be the one you'd probably want. You'd probably want that sooner than later. Notice how we missed one here. So again, they either haven't made what the other level 3 ranks are, because there's stuff missing. So maybe that'll change before the game is released, but you never know. But know the ones that did work. So Knowledge World was one, and so was Lord Nature was one. Those are pretty good. There's some really good shit that happened there. You probably want both of those. If you can get them, you should plan for that. But that's done. We'll get another spell. We're grabbing all of those. Get another spell. We're grabbing all of those. So it looks like we don't have much in the way of choices. We're getting all those, even whether you want them or not. And now here we have a limited choice. I'd rather have Word of Chaos versus Insanity, quite frankly. And now we're done. And again, just to reiterate the spells per day, remember I grabbed another feat that gave me more spells. So I have 7 to 11, or I have 11 a day, 11, 11, that should be a 7, because I had a feat that gave me 4 extra spells a day for levels 1, 2, and 3. I grabbed another feat that gave it to me for levels 4, 5, and 6. That's why these are up to 10. See that? Now, the reason that's important is that also matches on the Trickster side. Notice, not for 7, because remember my 2 feats that I grabbed buffs 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 5, and 6. I did not grab the 3rd feat because it only buffs 7, 8, and 9, and I only have access to level 7 spells. So this is going to be the Red-Headed Stepchild. It gets feed last, if at all. So it's only going to give me 3 a day. That's fine. The shit that's in here is fucking money, though. There's some really good shit in here. But I'll happily take 9 of those spells a day, 9 of those spells a day, 9, another 9, another 9, there's an 8, and now 3. If you add all that up with all the spells we got for Megas, from levels 1 through 6, that's a metric shit ton of fucking spells a day that we have for going Trickster Path. Now this video is definitely long enough, but I hope you guys like this. And again, I will try to unlock the Eon and the Azada Paths this week, so that I can do this video for them as well, because I am curious what their spell books are like. Because again, Planning ahead is what we're all about here. We're trying to understand together what would work well for a good build. Whether it's a non-caster build that's going to suddenly get spells that they're like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this? Well, go with the ones that are your strength. Go with ones that heal. Go with ones that buff. Certainly you can find anything in the Angel Spell Book that would benefit a fighter. You're fully armored. You're the best gear that we can possibly give you because you're a fighter, and of course you have to have gear. That's what you do better than anybody. Now you have some spells. Use those spells to your advantage. Give yourself that better attack bonus, the better strength, the better dex, the better armor, the better whatever. And again, by knowing what these spell books can give you, you can say probably definitively you're probably not going to get a trickery fighter. Unless, maybe, again, I could be wrong on that. Maybe you want the trickery because it gives you sneak attack. What am I going to do now? I'm going to rest. I'm going to go outside and I want to show you some of these spells. Just so you can see what some of this stuff actually looks like. Instant rest my character so that I can recharge all my spells. So you see I'm back up to 10. But let's go to the Trickster. And again, let's see what we have to offer. Notice that the spell books merge. So here's my level 7 spells. These are all my 7s that don't come from the Magus because Magus don't get this high. So these are definitely coming from the Trickster. So here's the Ray of Halberds. You'd pick a target and you'd murder them. Obviously, the X implies that we can't shoot those guys. I could probably summon a... where's those little beer elemental? Probably could summon a beer elemental and shoot him. That's your beer elemental. And again, like I thought, it's the water elemental theme. But I would actually assume they probably would change it where they got like bubbles kicking off him, where he looks like he's holding a beer. Looks like he's drunk. Maybe turn him piss yellow, give him some foam or whatever, so it looks more like a beer elemental. So obviously the skin's not done, is what I'm telling you. Let's back up from that guy and shoot him with our Ray of Halberds. Let's see what that's like. Oh god! Fucking cool, man. Okay, cool. I dig it. What else we got? We got some in the Hog of Desolation. You gotta see what the piglet looks like. Oh my god. Oh yeah, I'm all about the Hog of Desolation. What up, bro? That ain't no piglet, son. That's a big monster. What else we got? Oh, here's our Greater Shadow Conjuration. So notice how it's got a pop-up, and this is why it's a pop-up, because this is every spell wizard and sorcerers have level 0 through 6 that are Conjuration. So you see you have lame shit like Acid Splash. Here's level 1 stuff, Corrosive Touch, Reese, Mage Armor, Snowball, Summon spells 1 through 6, of course. Acid Arrow, Great Pit. I love these spells. Glitter Dust is useful if you need to light up an invisible target. Stone Calls lame. Summon your elementals. So the modders do this better, in my opinion, because they take the spell of summon small earth, elemental, fire, water, and air and lump it into one. But again, and the same with the summon monsters, they can do that where it's level 1, level 2 version where it's either the wolf or the dog, level 3 version which is the wolf, the dog, or the monitor lizard. Again, they merge those into one spell, another pop-up tab to make this cleaner. It's fine. Again, it's nice that they did this. I should say it that way. So a modern may come along and fix that shit, though. I love Acid Pit, Dimension Door for free. Stinking Cloud is amazing. Cloud kills in here. Notice how we have the summon medium elementals. Notice how we have a Touch of Slime. That's another Conjuration spell. What's this one? Acidic Spray. I forgot about that. Hungry Pit's a nice pit spell because it does damage over time, much like the Acid Pit. Those are the only two that I really like. Not counting Rift of Ruin, which I don't think we have access to because that's way too high. Large elementals can be summoned. We have, oh, here we go, Chains of Light. This is that spell that, again, it says no spell resistance, but because it's coming from Greater Shadow Conjuration, I think there's still a spell resistance problem. Acid Fog, that was amazing. Summon huge elementals, and then, of course, summon monsters 6, the 3 versions of that. So, again, a lot of shit, a lot of bang for your buck for just slotting one spell, or having that one spell pick, I should say. Let's grab Charm whatever. Yeah. Summon Perpetually Annoyed Wizard. What do you got? Oh, he's buff. I love it. What up, yo? That looks cool. I love seeing him fucking summon. The Recreational Pit. You want to get healed, bro? Damn. Go inside and heal yourself up for a while. Reflex save, got the fuck out of it. So again, I can do that in battle. You gotta love shit like that. But again, lovely spells. Let's see, is there anything low level that might be of interest to you? And it does look like, I will say this, it does look like it separates the spells out based on or which spellcaster class got here first. So here's Magus, that's the 11s. The ones that are 9 are coming from my Arcane Trickster, the Trickster build. Notice you've got the Fish Missile. So again, we can shoot people with the Fish Missile. Bam! Hit you with the missile. We have the Bear's Grace. Throw failed. Hideous Laughter, of course, is amazing. Some Small Beer Elemental. Find Trap here. We can cast that on ourselves. And again, if you go to your skills, you should see your Perception. Creative Approach. I don't know what the hell that is. So the Perception bonus is not kicking in until you need to see a Perception check against a trap. So like I said, it shouldn't be a permanent +10 buff, which is nice because that would be kind of OP. But again, cool that they have access to it. What else might you want to see? Like, how about we get a Glorious Beard up in this house? I wanted to see a beard. At least I have the effect on me. It does say I got natural armor, so did that work like it should? Natural armor +2. Now, it's not natural armor enhancement, by the way, and that's actually worth it for that reason alone. Because natural armor enhancement does not stack with other natural armor enhancement. Natural armor can stack with natural armor enhancement with other natural armors, so I could have a really, really high armor class, and this would just add 2 more to it, which is my point. So pretty fucking cool. Oh, no, not Dominate. Where's that Grizzly Bear? Hallucinogenic Cloud, what does that one look like? Tripping balls, man. Oh, Jesus. Oh, that's fucking cool. Okay, what else we got? Almost greater than this. No. Okay. Large Beer Elemental. The Grizzly Bear. Yeah, get over here, Grizzly. He's got a grease spell on around him. Oh, that's fucking funny. So literally anywhere he walks and attacks, he's going to have a grease stain on the ground. That's fucking hilarious. And that would actually be quite cool for a pet because that bastard's going to make everybody slippy slide and he's going to fucking kick their ass. What are you attacking me for? Leave me alone. I'm on your side. I guess he didn't like the fact that I hallucinated him. He's probably confused is what that means. Someone Grizzly Bear. Nice. Fell down. Nappy nap, bye-bye time. Can he make himself slip? Is that a thing? Can he do that? What else we got? We got, get away from that guy. Shadow Conjuration, again, this is the same thing here, just less choices, because again, it's only spells level 0 through 3. Phantasmal Keeler, Stride, Hazardous Person, yeah. What else we got here? We got Microscopic Proportions. We can Shrink and Deacon. Whoop! Oh, little teeny tiny, yeah. That's adorable. You can actually do that, I believe, on yourself, too, so let's actually test that theory. Come on. Click the spell. Do the thing. And it's a fast cast, too. Normally it's, wow, standard action for that. Normally the reduced person and large person is a full round of you whoop-a-jibba-jibbing it up, and that sucks ass. So that's a nice one. Look how teeny tiny I am. Fear me. Got a little dagger. Stab you in the asshole. But look at that massive other. That's not even a size. It says other. Wow. It should be size. Maybe they'll fix that. But again, that means it will stack with enchantments and alchemical buffs, like we said, for the mutagens. So again, you can make a really solid deck space build using that spell and those other 2 things I just mentioned. That's pretty fucking OP. And there is, by the way, a feat, I want to say, well, it's called The Bigger They Are. And if you have a size, and don't hit me, you jackass. Stop that. I'm going to fucking kick your ass. Alright, you dick. Impaired Shadow Shield. Oh, you suck ass. Get away from the bear. Bear's mean. Hate the bear.
I'm there.
Yes, that's what. Okay. Anyway, what other shit we can show you? Oh, here's our Phantasmal Healer. Bloop. 14 healing. It's there now, it's gone. What the hell? I mean, I'm clearly getting the heals still, so cool. I just have to remember where the hell I cast it, I guess. It's kind of weird. What else we have? We have, no. Reign of Halberds. That's a pretty big area of effect. Pretty good. Greater Beer Elemental. Shadow Evocation, and again, they did it right, even though the tooltip says it's not. It gives you all the evocation spells level 0 through 4. So we have Flare, Light, Ray of Frost, Burning Hands, Ear-Piercing Scream, Flare Burst, Magic Missile, Shocking Grasp, Burning Arc, Frigid Touch, Molten Orb, Scorching Ray, Battering Blast, Fireball, Lightning Bolt, Controlled Fireball, and all the different Dragon's Breath spells, and Ice Storm, Shout, and Volcanic Storm. That's the last of them. And again, that's a decent list, and there is probably in the game for Wizards anyway, Greater Shadow Evocation, I don't doubt, and that's probably like a level 7 spell or 8 spell or something like that. And I saw that there's a Shade spell in the game that's like a retarded OP spell. That's another illusion spell, but it's not called Greater Shadow Evocation or Conjuration or anything like that. It's just called Shades. Shades is the best of them. Phantasmal Web's good. Mind Fog's good. Again, Mind Fog's nothing more than a fog spell that literally debuffs the will saves like fucking crazy. The one that fails it is like a -8 or some shit. -10 to the wisdom checks, which of course impacts and their will saves. So it just screws them completely. And wisdom checks, by the way, we're talking about probably perception, so that would be of value. But notice this, that even if they leave the effect, affected creatures take the penalty as long as they remain in the fog, and for 2d6 rounds after the fog goes away or they leave. So if they run out of the cloud, they're still under the effect for a minimum of 2 rounds. So that's a massive chance for you to set off another illusion or enchantment spell, the big will save spells, where they're boned because of -10. It can still pass it on the nat 20s, don't get crazy, but you can set them up with all kinds of illusion shit after you set that off. Now the downside of this one is it literally can affect you and your team, and it's not a poison. I thought this was a poison cloud back in Pathfinder Kingmaker, and it is not. If I fail the check, again, once I fail it, if I fail it, it will literally be affecting me just like it affects them. Notice that my will save those pretty good. Ooh, not that good. +10. I should fail that.
I do what I must.
This may be once you've passed the check, it doesn't affect you again. It doesn't seem to be firing off again, but maybe I can leave the cloud and run back in and it'll check it. Yeah, there it goes. Now I failed. Notice how I'm under the effect of it. So the mind fog, blah, blah, blah. So again, I have a slow duration and then I have the permanent because I'm in the cloud. But if I leave... Oh, I'm broken. If I leave, I'm still under the effect for a brief amount of time. So again, still in that penalty. So be careful where the radius on that one is. Again, people mind another solid screw you spell. Love me some charm whatever. Recreational Pit was funny. Elementals, the wizards, the Phantasmal Putrefaction is a good spell. Umbral Strike's a good spell. Mass Cast Grace, I'm not a fan of those, but we're getting them for free. They'll be the last ones I pick. But again, I do love the Trick Fates. Let's actually buff ourselves, see if that will work for us. Looks like it. Let's go in here and see what happens. Oh look, my will saving throw succeeded. Look at that. Mind Fog rolled a 20. And I was at a will of +0 because I got a -2 wisdom and a -10 from the Mind Fog that I was still under the effect of. So my class bonus of 12 was completely neutered. But I roll a nat 20, so it doesn't matter what the DC check is. A nat 20 always wins. So again, that's a pretty killer fucking buff, man. The next 3, was it 3 rounds, or how did that spell fucking work again? Sorry, I have to read that again because that was just way too cool. So let's rest all. Get to my spell book. And where's my trickster spells? Trick Fate. For 3 rounds, target ally always rolls 20 on all d20s. that would be a spell that if you could quicken metamagic that, which I don't doubt with a metamagic rod, it'd have to be a greater metamagic rod. Or as a magus, I would have the quicken magic ability. I could pick that and quicken these spells. If I could do that, that would be swift action, same combat round. I could do all my spells and attacks like normal, and for 3 rounds, not 3 attacks, not 3 rolls, 3 rounds, I'm a god. I'm hitting everybody. And again, think about this. For 3 rounds, the target ally always rolls a 20. If it's an attack roll, that's a 20. That's a natural crit. Period. Doesn't matter what weapon it is. Melee touch attack, crit. Ray spell, that's a crit. If it's a weapon swing, it's a crit. How do I know that? Because you do a follow-up attack to see if you hit him again. And again, if it's a natural 20 on that one too, it has to be a crit. Right? So this is a guaranteed crit for 3 rounds. Jesus Christ. How amazing is that going to be for 3 rounds of just fuck-uppery, man? Oh, I can see this being abused. Oh, I'm loving me some Trickster. This, that's a game changer. I'm going to have to look in on that and see what else I can fucking dilly-dink around with. Oh, I should show you the Murder Pony, I suppose. Everyone likes the Murder Pony. Here's your Murder Pony. And this one was, for those of you that didn't know, this was in the beta for Kingmaker. Was they would give the people that got the beta, I didn't have it, but people that got it, they got a wand with unlimited charges of this. There's a Murder Pony, so people could walk around with their little Murder Pony. It would fight for them, and they could test out the game a little bit. And again, that was something. That's why it says Wand of Summon Monster Zero, because that's what it was a wand that they would give you for being a beta backer. I like how they brought it back. I thought that was cute. And he's got a little color to him. I mean, he's got like a paint to him that's a little funny, because in the Kingmaker game, you find a magical horse, and the horse is painted all weird colors. Now, obviously, this is a summons with just what the yellow glow and shimmering effect is all about. So if you didn't have that, he would look just like the colored horse that's in the Pathfinder Kingmaker game gameplay, which I think is funny. I still love how I'm still a teeny tiny person, though, for 12 more minutes. I could take that away, though. Let's, it would just be remove buffs. There you go. There you are. He's back to normal. But again, that's a nice spell, man. That microscopic proportions, whew, that's just mean. That could be some serious fun to have here. And again, there's some fun stuff in here for the Trickster. I mean, I still love the fish. Let's actually do a Murder Pony so I can fucking kill it. Fish attack. Right. Where's my murder fish? Right there. Bam, murder fish. Boom! That's what you get, Murder Pony. Notice how he failed his Fortitude saving throw. This is the spell if you ever want to see what it does. Range touch attack. Doesn't look like it was, though, because it was an auto hit, but maybe it's because it was a pet. 1d6 of bludgeoning damage plus another 1d6 per 2 cast rolls when level 20, so that should be 10d6 and 1d6, so 11d6 is what I'm expecting, plus sneak attack damage if applicable, which it's not. Fortitude save would be sickened for 2 to 5 rounds. He was failed, so he would have been sickened, but he died. And again, 11d6, like I said. It's a solid spell. And again, it's gross, but it's fucking funny. With that, though, this covers everything I wanted to say for these 2 spell books, the Demon and the Trickster spell book. Hopefully this enlightens you guys a little bit more about what you got going for you. And again, here's my quickened magic, like I said before, which this would be an amazing way for you to start off your spells. And you may think these ones will only work for mega spells. Shouldn't. It has nothing to do with spells. It has everything, or which type of spells it's cast. Just spells. Any spell. 3 spells per day, as if those were casted by the quickened spell feat. So activate that, and then just poof, I got Trick Fate on for 3 rounds. And there it is, baby. That's some fun right there. And I can do that with buffs, obviously. Sense Vitals, I can get more sneak attack damage that way. If I really wanted to get something out that is a long casting spell, we have various spells that reduce person is a defined example. That's a full round. So normally this is a jibba jibba jibba. Taking forever. So if I don't want to do that, again, I can do this, that, and it's instantaneous because it's a swift action. So in combat, obviously, that's not bad. But again, the microscopic proportion is even better than that. And this one here, as you can see, it is a size bonus to Dex. I wonder if we can do reduce persons even more. That would be balls to the wall crazy. Let's just theory craft here, guys. Microscopic proportions. Oh. Ha. That's broken. That's a tooltip that I'm going to have them fix, because that shouldn't be other, that should be size. This would be a bug report issue. And again, it's fine. I dig it though, because again, that should not be an 8. That should be a 6. It should be the best of the two. It's still nice until that time where they take it away from us, because that's an amazing bonus. And remember those dex bonuses in general, not just that size bonus. The dex bonuses in general, that's adding to my reflexes, that's adding to my armor. And notice my armor goes up twice because I'm a 2 different size category. I'm not only tiny, I'm teeny tiny. Now imagine if you had this trickster build on a gnome or a halfling that was already the smaller size category, and you cast that spell. You would be a size 2 levels lower than that. I don't even know if that exists, but they must have that in the game. This would be a +3. I mean, fucking crazy, man. And that'd be really trippy to see a little halfling who already has a dex and charisma bonus play a magus, an Eldritch Scion magus no less, where dex and charisma could be 2 of your main stats. Cast that spell as a trickster build and get yourself a massive dex bonus and be super teeny tiny. And notice, of course, I even got a bonus to my swing. Now, yes, my damage is shit, 1d2 for that teeny tiny dagger, but it's not the dagger that's doing the damage. Remember, it's always this +9, +10, plus whatever. Once I get my buffs on me, which I have shut off, but like Piranha Strike, Arcane Strike, and things of that nature, this number goes up considerably. So the 1d2, who cares? Because the dagger, even in its best form, when you're a normal human size, it's 1d4. It's not that big of a deal. It's always the number behind it. But this is a really, really nice bonus to my swing, because not only did my dex go up because I'm a weapon finesser, my size went down, so it's easier to hit you big fat heads. So again, if I'm fighting giants, the difference in size is even better, so my chances of hitting them, their armor goes down, my attack bonus technically as a result then would not go up, but it's comparable. It's either their armor goes down, my attack bonus goes up. Either way it works, it's a better chance for me to hit you. And again, you can see we're having some serious fun here. And yeah, got me a bonus to my dagger, another bonus here besides. I have no idea what that's about. Size bonus here, weapon focus and greater weapon focus. Again, I could have grabbed that weapon focus mythic feat or ability or whatever the hell it's called, and these would have gone up to 2 and 2, which has again been an even better attack. And I have 2 weapon fighting on this build. Not saying that's something you should do, but I did grab it. Where is it? 2 weapon fighting. I didn't have enough dexterity with a belt as I was leveling up to give him improved 2 weapon fighting and greater 2 weapon fighting, which I would have totally have done. It would have been a fun build. Again, sorry, waste your time on that silliness. But with that, my name is Brother Mutant. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. Tell me which of these Mythic Path spell books you're looking into. Which ones do you find more useful for what types of build? Remember, I'm going to do the Aeon and the Azada by the end of this week, hopefully. So hopefully by this weekend you'll have that video up as well. But with that, I'll see you guys soon. Bye now.